everyone, it's Jennifer Dawes, and rather than do a Tableau tip this week, I thought I would do a quick walkthrough of Tableau Pulse. If you haven't had a chance to use it yet, let's take a look and see what it's all about. So I am using a demo site that I created as part of the dev program. So it's a Her Data Tableau Cloud instance, and within this I've been able to play with Tableau Pulse quite a bit, and I'm using it in my work environment too. So just to kind of walk you through why this might be a game changer for organizations, it is creating metrics, little cards, which I'll walk through how to create one or two, and then it's powered with Tableau AI. So the data source that you're connecting is a data source that you would know in your organization. And it's pulling in the measure and however you want to filter it, just like you would in a dashboard. The only change here is these insights that you'll see that refresh daily. And then within the various different metric cards you're going to create, there's a few drill options. So let's walk through one really quickly, and then I'll show you how this becomes really useful. So for this one, I'm connected to Tableau Superstore data that anybody with a Tableau license would have access to, and I'm looking at sales. So sales across the various different time periods. So if I click within any of these cards, there's various different ways to look at any metric. You get the overview, which has a nice little summary section here. It's going to compare the current sales for the month of November, so month to date, against the prior period, which would be October, and then prior year, same period. So November 1st through 21st of last year, which I find really useful, but at first we found kind of limiting. In our organization, we'd like to look at things week over week because, seasonality can be very volatile, which I'll show you a little bit more about that in a second. Beyond that, you get a quick overview. You can see how you're trending in your current period, and then how that compares to where the predicted period, where it's expected to be, which would be the light blue. You can also look at a breakdown, which will give you a couple of different options that you can set up within each metric. So with selecting each of these different slices, you're able to see some key insights and kind of drill and maybe find some outliers like standard class. Wow, that's up 45,000. Really interesting. And then the real game changer is the AI questioning ability. So various different dimensions when we create a metric are set up for each of these metrics that you can then use to kind of tool through. What was high, what was low, and then you can even ask a question. What region was the highest? Let's say. Let's see if we're able to pull that. And so I type in my question, and Tableau suggesting a few different ways to look at this. Let's look at state and Providence. Sure. Interesting. New York and California are the highest in sales right now. Great to know. And then we can kind of continue tooling through. The best part about Tableau Pulse is that you can kind of train it as you go. Was this helpful? Yes or no? And over time, the questions become a little bit better, and even the summary and insights as well. So there's a little bit about how to use it. And then you can also set up followers. Anybody else on your Tableau Cloud instance, you can schedule them to follow it or not follow it, and browse other ones as well. Now let's see how easy it is to create one. So like I said, we're going to come in here. We're going to go to Superstore data. I think this is the right one. And we're going to set up a metric. Let's say we're looking at units. And then who can edit it? I love that you can lock this down and be able to restrict it to which users are able to make changes. And then from there, we can either use a measure within our data. Man, my screen's trying to populate what they think I want to do. It's a little too smart. We can use a measure within our data or create a calculation. So let's say units are just a little more complicated than that. Just a standard measure pill within our data. We can come in here and, just like we would in desktop, create our calculation. Only in this instance, we'll create our calculation and throw it in a little bit different alignment. So we would put it in measure. What is our time period that we're using? I forget what it is. Order date. And then any filters that we would want to apply, and hit apply. Just like that, it starts to generate your measure. Not a whole lot to look at right now, so that's fine. Bad example. But you can walk through and answer, is it currency? Is it number? Is it a percent? How do you want to slice it? What are the different ways you want to look at it? And then there you go. Really insightful piece that we also were discovering is the different filter options. So if month to date doesn't make the most sense, what does week to date look like? What does quarter to date or year to date look like? You can quickly change that, hit OK, and then we're going to look at prior period and prior year a little bit differently. Hope this is helpful. Quick overview, Tableau Pulse, really fun and exciting. If you're interested in playing a little bit more, maybe create a developer account so that you can create your own cloud instance and play around. Any questions, let me know. And that's all. Thanks. Bye.